Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind. I apologize in advance, I'm wrestling with a cold, have a bit of a cough, just haven't been able to shake it. Last time when we left off we were here at the Balmora Temple, a place we just need to go ahead and explore, and a faction that naturally, as with every single one that's available to me, I intend to join. So, we'll check under the pillows on these beds, check inside the chests. Generally speaking, find a whole lot of nothing, which is fine. We'll go to this next room, where we can, at least in theory, do the same thing. Just gotta check under the pillows, because they love to hide shit there.
Is there something you need?
Now, here we have, if I can just get going, a closet. Aha.
Yes, Outlander. What do you want?
In here is some neat stuff, if you're, still looking for enchanted gear. Nothing that I'm going to bother with at this late stage, but definitely good stuff. Just taking notes. I do apologize for the hang-up. So there's that. Here we've got a level 25 locked small chest, which an apprentice's lockpick should work fine on. And then we have Elin Favoran to speak to. So let's do that. I don't believe I've seen a high elf with such a grand outfit in some time. Can I help you? I bet you can. Let's start by seeing what you have for barter. Very nice. Bunch of scrolls, as well as the enchanted items we saw. Background. I am Island Favorin, enchanter and initiate of the temple. Let's go through the rest. Miners Guild, Foreigners, Fort Moonmoth, Foyata Mamea, Ghost Fence. The Ghost Fence is a magic wall created by the Tribunal to imprison the Devil Dagoth-Ur and his evil servants within the crater of Red Mountain. Imperial Cult. Join the Temple. Speak with Feldrello Sadri here at the Temple. Good. Latest rumors, little advice. If you want to talk to an enchanter about enchanting, try Gelar Rothan at the Telvanni Council House. He's not a stiff shirt like a lot of the Telvanni wizards, and he knows his stuff. Little secret, Morrowind lore, murderer's description, my trade. Nalkaria of Whitehaven. I am an enchanter. I enchant things and sell them. I have scrolls, which are... oh yeah, we've already seen that dialogue. We don't need to keep reading that. Nervarine, Nine Toes, Odai, Andres Nerano. I heard he was spreading rumors about some Redoran noble. Outlander, Raylan Wallow, Services, Silt Strider Service, Solstheim, someone in particular, Soul Sickness, South Wall, Specific Place, and Thieves Guild. Alright, that's it for him. Now let's move on. In this next room, we've got some temple shrines. A Shrine of St. Lothus. Need to make a donation of 35. A Shrine of St. Rilm. Same thing. And if we look here in the back, we find Dralval and Drano. Now let's go ahead and... Greetings, citizen. I'm Dralval Andrano. Welcome to Balmora. We're a House Lalu town and loyal citizens of the Empire. What can I do for you? I just have to take some notes. I have to wonder why the UESP is playing video ads on my laptop and making everything run at a ridiculously slow clip. If we barter with him, we can see that they won't restock, but he sells some alchemy ingredients. Well, his frost salts won't restock. Background. I am Dralval Andrano, apothecary and initiate of the temple. Okay. Let's run through all these. Excuse me. Council Club, Dunmer, Fighters Guild, Foreigners, Fort Moonmoth, Mamea, Ghost Fence. Nothing can pass through the Ghost Fence except at Ghost Gate. Ghost Gate is guarded by Ordinators and Buoyant Armigers at the Tower of Dawn and the Tower of Dusk. Interesting. Guild Guide, Imperial Cult, Join the Temple, Latest Rumors, Little Advice, Little Secret. Don't be in such a hurry when you're traveling. Take your time, keep your eyes open, learn from your experiences. You're on the road to learn about yourself and the world around you. Okay, Morrowind lore. The Tribunal are named Almalexia, Sothasil, and Vivek. When you refer to all three of the Tribunals at once, you call them Almcivi. Murder's Description, My Trade, Nalkaria of Whitehaven, Nerevarine, Nine Toes, Odai, Andres Nerano, Outlander, Raylan Lalo, Services, Silt Strider Service, Soulstime, Someone in Particular, Soul Sickness, South Wall, Specific Place, and Thieves Guild. Alright, that's it for him. Let's bust on past him. Maybe, hopefully. Come on, dude. You gotta get out of the way. Move! Move, Skippy! Oh, this is ridiculous. Alright, we'll just console him. I know that's not his default position. So if we use reset actors, he'll move back to where he's supposed to be. And then we can at least enter the room. So apart from he himself, I think, hopefully at least, you'll notice a lot of goodies in his room. There's a small chest we can just raid. There's another one. Oh look, we can actually steal his frost salts out of there, which is great. They are a Restore Magicka ingredient. And then there's a small chest. Perfect. Let's unlock it. Apprentices should be fine for a level 25 lock. We'll take his gold.
Where is that slave?
For a 75, we'll use a Master's Lockpick. And that just gives us access to all the potions he sells. If we wander back here, we can check these sacks. I don't really anticipate finding anything great.
Is there something I...
Man, he is just drawn to the damn doorway, isn't he? Anyway, let's move on down the hall. Search over here. Yeah, we got some loose gold. Nice. Got some arrows, which I'll actually take, along with loose gold. A little bit more loose gold. And then we can either stay on this level or we can go down. Or rather we can go up or down. Let's go up first. This is Telis Salvani. Now I've already spoken to him just for to buy one spell in particular. We're going to get the other ones now. I don't believe I've seen a high elf with such a grand outfit in some time. Can I help you? If we barter with him, he's got some ingredients and potions, nothing too great. But what I'm interested in, more than anything else, are his spells. I want to admire his disposition to 100 first. I used to say 90 plus, but now that we've, in addition to maxing speechcraft, also maxed personality and luck, influencing people is easier than ever. That doesn't mean we'll always succeed, of course, but it's not very difficult. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. So now let's buy the spells. We get Veloth's Grace, Restore Willpower, Vivek's Tears, and Free Action. Of course, we want all of those. So we'll go Veloth's Grace, Restore Willpower, Vivek's Tears, and Free Action. Excellent. That's a Cure Blight Disease for 1 second on self, but it's much cheaper than the actual Cure Blight Disease spell. See, this one costs 100 magicka, Vivek's Tears. Oh, it also costs 100. Just kidding. Anyway, background. I am Talise Salvani, healer and novice of the temple. Bacola Clausius, bad people. Now let's just go through all the dialogue. Mage's Guild. Kamanatong. Yep. Ghost Fence. Great houses. The Red Party of Redoran preserves the ancient martial traditions of our ancestors and deserves our thankful respect. Guild Guide, Imperial Cult, Join the Temple, Latest Rumors, Little Advice, Little Secret, Morrowind Lore. Most Dunmer worship the Tribunal, 3 mortals who became gods in the distant past before Tiber Septim. Murder's Description, My Trade, Nalkaria of Whitehaven, Nervarine, Nine Toes, Odai, Anders Narano, Outlander, Raylan Lalo, Services, Silkstrider, Solstheim, someone in particular, blah blah blah. Anything new? No. Alright, good. Now let's look around in here.
How about a potion today?
I can tell.
Now we'll speak with Feldrello Sadri. Alrighty. Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple? Advancement. You are not a member. Do you wish to join the temple? Background. I'm Feldrello Sadri, monk and master of the temple. Let's look at the others first. Council Club, Dunmer. Duties. I cannot give you duties if you do not join the temple. Fair enough. Fighters Guild, Foreigners, Fort Moonmoth, blah, 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 blah. Latest Rumors, Little Advice, Little Secret, Morrowind Lore. The 2 criminal guilds here are the Kamanatong, the Native Criminal Syndicate, and the Thieves Guild, the Imperial Newcomers. The Thieves Guild is fighting for its life against the ruthless and well-established Kamanatong. Murder's Description, My Trade, Nalkaria of Whitehaven, Nervarine. Oh yes, but I think this is a new one. I am a monk. In mind and spirit, I am a student of the hidden mysteries of the unseen world that lies beyond the objects and ideas of everyday life. In body, I am a student of the ancient martial arts patterned on the rain of sand fighting styles of elsewhere. I pursue hand-to-hand and unarmored self-defense, because what you don't have, you cannot lose. I also train with the blunt weapons called staves, because even the poorest peasant can own a staff. To earn my keep, I train others in my skills. Nervarine, Nine Toes. Odai, Handres, Outlander, Raylan. Requirements. The temple admires those who have the personality to lead others and the will to resist the world's temptations. When it cannot be avoided, we fight with staves and hammers, armored only in our faith. We study restoration and alchemy to heal the people, and mysticism to learn more of the divine. We must also study conjuration to speak with the spirits of our ancestors and protect against those who traffic with the four corners. Rules. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. Your journal has been updated. Services, Silt Strider Service, Solstheim, Soul Sickness, South Wall, Specific Place, and Thieves Guild. Alright, finally, let's do Join the Temple. You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join, or shall you hear our doctrine first? Hear the doctrine. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you must speak with a master or the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. Still want to join? Yes, I am worthy. You are now a layman in the temple. Welcome, Brother Travis. I am one of several masters you can go to get your duties, and if you perform well, advancement in the temple is not out of the question. Cool. So, let's ask about advancement first. Your talents are noteworthy, but some question your depth of devotion. Perform more duties for the temple, and you will soon be rewarded. Duties. Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimages of the 7 graces. Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path. It describes where the pilgrimage sites are. After you have completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn you that while most of these are easy, the pilgrimages of Ghostgate and the Ruddy Man are more difficult. You may wish to do those last. Your journal has been updated. The Pilgrim's Path has been added to your inventory. Now, The Pilgrim's Path we've already read. It's not a new book. So let's look at our journal first. My fourfold duties to the temple are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. I should perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. I must never transgress against my brothers or sisters in thought or deed, for we are all one body. Feldrello Sadri gave me a copy of The Pilgrim's Path and asked me to make the pilgrimages of the 7 graces. Alrighty.
Probably nothing.
So we get a copy of The Pilgrim's Path, which we've already read, and we are now a layman in the temple. Next rank, Novice. Personality 30, Intelligence 30. Favorite skills, Unarmored, Alchemy, Restoration, Mysticism, Conjuration, Blunt Weapon. Need 1 skill at 10. That's easy
Please,
enough.
go ahead, Outlander.
There's a Shrine of the Tribunal here, and then we have some books to look at. I think we've read the Anticipations, but let me double check that. Just need to access my book list. We have read the Anticipations, good. Lives of the Saints, the Cantatas of Vivek. We've read all of those. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 34. That's a new one. You've gained knowledge from this book. Your unarmored skill increased to 100. So we'll take 34 off the list, and we'll read it. Just taking notes. Perfect. All right. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 34. Then Vivek left the Ministry of Truth and went back to the space that was not a space. From the provisional house, he looked into the middle world to find the eighth and final and mightiest monster, called Gulga Morgil and more. The wise must look elsewhere for this string of power. Vivek called to his side the Hortator, and this was the first time that Nerevar had ever been to the provisional house. He had the same vision that Vivek had so many years ago, that of the two-headed ruling king. Who is that, he wondered. Vivek said, the red jewel of conquest. Nerevar, perhaps because he was frightened, became vexed at his lord's answer. Why are you always so evasive? Vivek told the Hortator that to be otherwise was to betray his nature. Together they moved into the middle world, to a village near where Vivek had been found by Am and Set. The eighth monster was there, but he did not act much like a monster. He sat with his legs in the ocean, and with a troubled look on his face. When he saw his mother-father, he asked why he should have to die and return to oblivion. Vivek told the eighth monster that to be otherwise was to betray his nature. Since this did not seem to satisfy the monster, and Vivek still had a touch of Am's mercy, he said, the fire is mine, let it consume thee, and make a secret door at the altar of Padome in the house of Boe-Thea, where we become safe and looked after. The monster accepted Muatra with a peaceful look, and his bones became the foundation for the city of the dead, anon Narcissus. Nerevar put away his axe, which he had at the ready, and frowned. Why, he said, did you ask me to come if you knew the eighth monster would give in so easily? Vivek looked at the Hortator for a long time. Nerevar understood. Do not betray your nature. Answer as you will. Vivek said, I brought you here because I knew the mightiest of my issue would succumb to Muatra without argument, if only I gave him consolation first. Nerevar looked at Vivek for a long time. Vivek understood. Say the words, Hortator. Nerevar said, Now I am the mightiest of your children. Let this sermon be consolation to those who read it that are destined to die. The ending of the words is Alm Sivi. Homilies of Blessed Almalexia, meanwhile, I believe is a book we have already read. Yes, it is. The Consolations of Prayer, we've read. The Pilgrim's Path, we've definitely read. 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 14 is a new book. In just a moment, we'll be ready to read it. As soon as I make good notes about that, we'll read it. You've gained knowledge from this book. Your spear skill increased to 100. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 14. Vivek lay with Molag Bal for 80 days and 8, though headless. In that time, the prince placed the warrior poet's feet back and filled them with the blood of Daedra. In this way, Vivek's giant form remained forever harmless to good earth. The pomegranate banquet brought many spirits back from the dead, so that the sons and daughters of the Union had much to eat besides fruit. The Duke of Scamps came while the banquet was still underway, and Molag Bal looked on the seven penance with anger. The King of Rape had become necessary and therefore troubled for the rest of time. His legions and Kautas fell into open war, but the children of Molag Bal and Vivek were too elaborate in power and form. The Duke of Scamps therefore became a lesser thing, as did all his own children. Molag Bal said to them, You are the sons of liars, dogs, and wolf-headed women. They have been useless to summon ever since. The Holy One returned at last, Vec, golden with wisdom. His head found its body had been tenderly used. He mentioned this to Molag Bal, who told him that he should thank the barons of Move Like This, for I have yet to learn how to refine my rapture. My love is accidentally shaped like a spear. So Vivek, who had a grain of Am's mercy, set about to teach Molag Bal in the ways of belly magic. They took their spears out and compared them. Vivek bit new words onto the King of Rapes, so that it might give more than ruin to the uninitiated. This has since become a forbidden ritual, though people still practice it in secret. Here is why. The Velothi demons and monsters that were watching all took out their own spears. There was much biting, and the earth became wet, and this was the last laugh of Molag Bal. Watch as the earth shall crack, heavy with so much power, that should have been forever unalike. Then that stretch of badlands that had been the site of the marriage fragmented and threw fire, and a race that is no more, but that was terrible at the time to behold, came forth. Born of the biters, that is all they did, and they ran amuck across the lands of Veloth and even to the shores of Red Mountain. But Vivek made of his spear a more terrible thing, from a secret he had bitten off from the King of Rape. And so he sent Molag Bal tumbling into the crack of the biters, and swore forever that he would not deem the king beautiful ever again. Vivek wept as he slew all those around him with his terrible new spear. He named it Muatra, which is milk-taker, and even the Chimeri mystics knew his fury. Anyone struck by Vivek at this time turned barren and withered into bone shapes. The path of bones became a sentence for the stars to read, and the heavens have never known children since. Vivek hunted down the biters one by one and all their progeny, and he killed them all by means of the 9 apertures, and the wise still hide theirs from Muatra. The ending of the words is Almsivi. And finally, there is Fellowship of the Temple, which I believe is a new book. It is. So let's read that one too. Fellowship of the Temple by Archcanon Tholer Saryoni. I have been asked to write this guidebook for outsiders who are unfamiliar with the Tribunal Temple and interested in joining. All those who are earnest and who are willing to submit to the wisdom of Blessed Almsivi, Triune Grace, the saints and the priests, are welcome to the fellowship of the Tribunal Temple. The temple is the religion of Morrowind and Dunmer people and has been for generation upon generation. With guidance and counsel of Almalexia, Vivek, Sothasil, the Anticipations, and all the hosts of saints of ancestors, the temple guards and protects the lands and peoples of Morrowind. Those who follow the tribunal must have the personality to lead others and the willpower to resist the world's temptations. When violence is needful, we fight with staves and hammers, armed only in our faith. We study restoration and alchemy to heal the people, and mysticism to learn more of the divine. We must also study conjuration to speak with the spirits of our ancestors and protect against those who traffic with the Four Corners. Those interested in joining the Tribunal Temple should speak to priests at the temples in Aldrune, Balmora, Molagmar, and Ghostgate, or with priests at the High Fane in the temple compound in Vivek. Articles of Faith. The temple believes that Almalexia, Vivek, and Sothasil were mortal guardians of Morrowind who walked the earth, defeated the Dunmer's greatest enemies, the Nords and the Dwarves, and achieved divine substance through superhuman discipline and virtue and supernatural wisdom and insight. Like loving ancestors, they guard and counsel their followers. Like stern parents, they punish sin and error. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among the greatest and the least according to their needs. Duties of the faithful. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters, and never dishonor your house or your ancestors. Serve and protect the poor and weak, and honor your elders and clan. For those who would be wise, these sacred books will be of interest. Saryoni's Sermons. Learn from the teachings of Vivek and from the Archcanon's sermons on the 7 graces. Lives of the Saints. Members of the temple who wish to be virtuous will model their lives on the lives of the saints. The Pilgrim's Path. The path to wisdom and self-knowledge is through pilgrimage. Those who would rise in the ranks of the faithful may retrace the steps of the lords and saints and gain blessings and learn virtue by suffering and overcoming hardships. The consolations of prayer. Learn what bounties and blessing might be gained by prayer at the shrines found in temples and in places of pilgrimage and in the tombs of our ancestors. And then there is The Doors of the Spirit, which is also a new book, which we'll go ahead and read right quick. The Doors of the Spirit. The ancestors are among us. They are never farther away than the waiting door. The ancestors are not departed. The dead are not under the earth. Their spirits are in the restless wind, in the fire's voice, and the foot-smoothed step. Pay heed to these things, and you will know your absent kin. Pay reverence through gift and prayer. Acquaint the ancestors with your affairs, with your comings and goings, with your blessings and trials. From the waiting door comes your protection. Heed the spirits who are the guardians of your hearth, teachers of wisdom, counselors of fortune, seers of fate. Each bone is a door through the wall of the world. Each bone is the road with wisdom and power the travelers. Each bone is the ghost fence that guards us from evil. Honor the ancestors upon your hearths, within your halls, in the community of your temples, in the solitude of your tombs. Guard your ancestors from beasts, from thieves, from profane priests and sorcerers. Let no creature steal your spirits, for the plundered hearth is diminished, and the plundered tomb is shamed. Live in one world with your spirits. Honor the spirits within and without you. Do not grieve for the dead. Take shelter in their arms and pay heed to their words. And then, there's nothing up here.
You have my blessings, Outlander. How about a potion today?
So let's head to the basement next. There are 2 more people to chat with and just a touch more looting to do. Here is Larara
What may I do
Omain.
for you?
Who I think may have spells. Somebody else down here has spells. Hello, Travis. I'm Larara Omain, and this is Balmora. I don't believe we've met. Is there something I can do for you? Sure. Let's get your disposition to 100. You know, 100 may still be pushing it. I'm still pretty happy with 90 plus. There we go. Alrighty. Start with the spells. Energy Leech, Shield of the Armiger, Wisdom, and Mark. That one's important. Mark and Recall are pretty much the best fast travel options in the game. You put the Mark wherever your home base is, and then you simply cast Recall and you immediately teleport there. It's pretty cool. So we'll buy those, and then we'll go through the dialogue. Almalexia was the virtuous wife of Lord Nerever and later the consort of Lord Vivek. Ancestors. Recently dead spirits know us well and do not quickly forget their living kin. They are weak, but quick to guide and protect us. Background. I am Larara Omain, priest and novice of the temple. Bad Daedra. Bad people. We've seen most of these before. Blessings. Most shrines provide common blessings like healing, cure common or cure blight disease, and cure poison. Daedra. The Daedra are our ancestors. Before the Tribunal, we worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they didn't deserve it, since they harmed us as often as they helped us. When they became gods, the Tribunal became our protectors and high ancestor spirits. The good Daedra became loyal friends of the Tribunal, but the bad Daedra remained foul and treacherous. Dagothur. Dagothur is the evil, immortal enemy of the Tribunal Temple cult. The temple holds Dagothur and his hosts accountable for all the evils that beset the Dunmer and Morrowind. Dagothur dwells in fiery caverns beneath Red Mountain, served by his kin called ash vampires and by legions of deformed monsters. Dunmer, Dwemer. The Dwemer were ancient enemies of the Dunmer, but they are long dead, destroyed in a holy war by Saint Nerevar and the Tribunal. Cool. Empire. Give to the Emperor only your coin, and honor only the law which is just. Interesting. Fighters Guild, foreigners, Fort Moomoth, blah blah blah. The Ghost Fence was created and is sustained by the divine powers of Vivek and the Tribunal. Ghost Gate. Ghost Gate is garrisoned by the Ordinators and the Buoyant Armigers, and House Redoran maintains a hostel for pilgrims. Buoyant Armigers. The Buoyant Armigers pattern themselves on Lord Vivek's heroic spirit of exploration and adventure, and they emulate his mastery of the varied arts of personal combat, chivalric courtesy, and subtle verse. Interesting. Good Daedra. Great houses. The Yellow Party of Hlalu honors and serves fortune, trade, and the empire, and through such distractions they stray away from the narrow paths of duty, gravity, and piety. Fortune. Worshippers of fortune scorn the temple law of fair price and fair labor, and assert that might makes right in measuring price and labor. Greater Saints. We've done that already. Guild Guide, Imperial Cult. Imperial law supports and protects the imperial cult, but the 9 divines are neither gods nor worthy ancestors, and their worship is just foolish superstition. Killing and murder. Killing is justifiable in war, self-defense, defense of property, affairs of honor, great house affairs under the sanction of the state, and the affairs of heresy. Other killings are foul murder and punishable by compensation, punitive labor, or in sanctioned house wars affairs by writ of assassination. Justifiable but unnecessary or cruel killing is sinful, punishable by temple courts, but not illegal under imperial law. The justice of killing heretics is a source of bitter controversy among contemporary temple authorities. Killing heretics is against imperial law, but not dishonorable or scandalous. Latest rumors, lesser saints. Seen that before. Little advice, little secret, Morrowind lore. In Telvanni district, the few Telvanni tower towns are just big villages with wizard towers. Murderer's description, my trade. I am a priest of the Tribunal Temple, an intercessor between Almcivi and their worshippers, caretaker of the temple and shrines, and counselor and educator for the faithful and laymen. I can tell you about the temple, the Daedra, the saints, and the ancestors. I can explain about pilgrimages and why we hate necromancy. I can also tell you something about other cults. Alcaria of Whitehaven, necromancy. Ignorant foreigners confuse our communication and reliance upon our ancestor spirits with necromancy, but ancestor veneration is holy and pious, while necromancy is godless, perverse sorcery. Marine, 9 divines. Many foreigners worship the 9 as gods. They have divine power like the Daedra, but they are not worthy of worship. Some are better than others, but none are trustworthy. 9 Toes, Odai, Andres Nerano. Ordinators. The Order of the Watch provides guards for temples and shrines. Other cults. The Ashlanders have a primitive cult that worships the Daedra and tribal ancestors. This is the faith of our ancient forefathers, and not evil, but their worship is ignorant and unenlightened. Outlander. Pilgrimages. A book called The Pilgrim's Path describes many of the temple's pilgrimages and their shrines. Raylan Hallow, St. Thelms, St. Nerevar, St. Rorus, St. Seren, St. Veloth, saints. Each of the greater saints and lesser saints has his own proper sphere of influence, those worshippers of various walks of life that the saint has the most sympathy and affection for. Services, shrines. Shrines may be found in temples, at pilgrimage sites, or in ancestral tombs. I think these are all going to be the same. Sothis Sil. Yeah, we've seen that one before too. Soul Sickness, South Wall, specific place. Temple, Thieves Guild, Tribunal Temple, Vivek. Okay. And finally, what you got for barter? Oh good, she'll take the Pilgrim's Path, because it's redundant and I don't need it anymore. And finally, the last
Yes,
person...
Outlander, what may I do for you?
Last person to speak with is Lathino Hlalu. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Lathino. Good. Hello friend, I'm Lathino Hlalu. Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it, or try anyway, and if it's just a little advice you'd like, that's fine too. Same deal. Admire the disposition to 90 plus. And buy all the spells. Alright, what do we have vis-a-vis spells? Recall, Power Well, and Vigor. So now we have mark and recall. Those are incredibly important. The others, not so much. Alright, let's go through here. Ancestors, the spirits of our dead live on in our world. They can know and affect the future and can speak with other spirits and work great magic, so we honor and gift them and show them love and ask them to help us. Background, I am Lathino Lalu, priest and adept of the temple. Okay. Blessings. Temple faithful and reverent guests may make offerings at shrines and receive in return a blessing. Buoyant Armigers. The Buoyant Armigers is a small military order of the temple exclusively dedicated to and answering to Lord Vivek. That was a different dialogue than the others. Dagoth-ur, Dunmer, Dwemer. Dwemer. They call them dwarves in the West. In their folly and pride, the Dwemer conspired to create a god to serve them and to destroy the Dunmer, but now they are no more. Empire. Their armies are great, and so is their lust for fortune. Fighters Guild, Foreigners, Fort Moonmoth. Fortune. Fortune is the corrupt spirit of commerce, profit, and usury. It is worshipped under the name of Zenithar in the Empire. Foyanamamea, Ghost Fence. The Ghost Fence is a magic wall running completely around Red Mountain. The barrier keeps blight storms and blight monsters from spreading across Vardenfell. Ghost Gate. Ghost Gate is a stronghold that guards the only passage through the Ghost Fence and into the blighted region of Red Mountain. Good Daedra. Greater Saints. Guild Guide. Imperial Cult. Killing and Murder. Latest rumors. Rannis Athris in the Balmora Mages Guild has something against wizards who aren't in the guild. I think it has something to do with her parents, who were murdered by the old Telvanni Archmagister, the one before Gothrin. Lesser Saints, little advice. Vala Catrasso at the Aldrune Guild of Mages runs a little class for new arrivals in Vardenfell, and by the way, she is also happy to talk about her vocation as priest. Little secret, Morrowind lore. Murderer's description, my trade, Naukaria of Whitehaven. Necromancy. Necromancy is a loathsome abomination. Necromancers and vampires are foul and evil beyond reckoning and must be destroyed. Narrarine, 9 Divines. The official religion of the Empire, the Imperial Cult, worships the 9 Divines. The 9 Divines are the Aedra, Akatosh, Debella, Arche, Zenithar, Maris, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and the divine god-hero Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. These are indeed powerful spirits, but they are untrustworthy and unworthy of worship. Hindtos, Odai, Anders Narano. Other cults. The Imperial Cult are the official religion of the Empire. Their worship is false and unworthy, but their worshippers are no more good or evil than any superstitious savage. Outlander. Pilgrimages. The most pious members of the temple make pilgrimages to various sites on Vardenfell where gods, saints, and heroes have faced test and trials. Raylan Wallow. St. Felm, St. Nerever, St. Rorus, St. Seren, St. Veloth. Services, shrines. Shrines are three-sided trioliths where prayer and offerings are made for healing and blessings. Soul Strider, Solstheim, someone in particular, Sothasil, Soul Sickness. Southwall, specific place. Temple, Thieves Guild, Tribunal. Almalexia, Vivek, and Sothasil are mortal guardians who walked the earth, defeated the Dunmer's greatest enemies, the Nords and the Dwarves, and achieved divine substance through superhuman discipline and virtue, and through supernatural wisdom and insight. Nords is the new one. These people are our ancient enemies. Like all man races, they are of inferior blood, but otherwise are human in every respect. Are they capable of enlightenment? Do they have souls? Who can say? Tribunal Temple. Vivek. Alrighty. And with that, the last thing we need to do is unlock this wooden chest. We want to do this in 5 tries or less with our master's pick, of course. There we go. Lovely. Anything important in here? No. And we're done here in the temple. So, first things first, just because we did get a couple of things to drop off. Let's bounce to Wallow Manor. And I think I'm going to end the video here. And next time, we'll start here at the upper extreme and actually work our way back down toward the river in a sort of counterclockwise way. So having already done Nalcaria, that means Millie Hastian will be next when we return to Let's Play Morrowind. Until then, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please consider clicking an ad, liking, sharing, or subscribing, any or all of which really help me out. Regardless, please know that I really do appreciate the time you spend watching, and hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.